Hello student, very good morning to all of you. How are you? I hope you all are happy, healthy and fine at home. Do you remember what were we discussing yesterday? I think yesterday we were discuss about the somewhat introductory part regarding as a Venusal A and Venusal B. So, because today we are going to discuss about that structure Venusals A and B. The rest of the point we are going to discuss today, and as I already told you that this article is published in JACS. JACS means Journal of American Chemical Society in 2000, I think year also given over here. This was published in 2010, I already told you that, and page numbers, volume number, all these things. Now, look at here, this figure 1 represent originally assigned structure of Venusals A1 and B2. When this R group, the nature of R group, if you see this is a stereochemically is shown three-dimensional structure of that Venusal A and B is represented over here. If R is equal to acetyl group, that becomes Venusal A. When R is equal to hydrogen, then that structure becomes as a Venusal B. Originally assigned structure, in our previous lecture we have described about that, and some of the characteristics regarding that Venusal A and B, that is also we have discussed. So, there are number of carbon atom present in the Venusal structure A and B, excluding the acetyl group. There will be C13 carbon framework or C13 framework present in that Venusals A and B. Why that acetyl group is not counted over there? Because it is not directly joined to the carbon. There is a continuous carbon chain present in the that structure of Venusal A and B. Second important characteristic of that Venusals A that we have found, the number of rings present in the Venusals A and B, same number of rings are present in both the structures. If you count carefully, you will find there are 6 rings are present in Venusals A and B. The difference between these two only in case of the Venusal A, there is a acetyl group at that particular position, and when Venusal B, there is a hydrogen atom. That is the major difference between these two. Rest of the thing of both the structures are the same, only there is a major change. Acetyl group is replaced by that hydrogen atom. If acetyl, then you can call it as a Venusal A. If there is a hydrogen, you can call it as a Venusal B. And the originally assigned structure which we already seen yesterday, only this is a three-dimensional structure representing over here. So, here in the abstract, the total synthesis of the originally assigned structure of Venusals B2 and its diastereomers D2 are described. Diastereomers, as we know that in case of optically active compounds are those organic compound carrying the chiral center, then there is a terms are diastereomer, enantiomers. So, like that terms are that is related to as a stereochemistry. Stereo means solid, the orientation of the atom in a space, their connectivity and order of that joining that atoms, in what way that type of it deals with the study of three-dimensional structure is known as a stereochemistry. In that is represented over here. So, diastereomers mean they are not the mirror images. So, that type of the isomers are known as a diastereomers, and they having their physical properties as well as chemical properties are different, and therefore, they are also known as a diastereomers. Initial forays into these structures with model system revealed the viability of a metathesis based approach. And as we know that this is one of the technique or the chemical method or the synthesis method where we can synthesize the carbon-carbon double bond, that type of the ring formation process. So, that type of the methods are generally known as metathesis based approach there, because in every approach there must be different. So, by using that, and a SMI2, that is mediated strategy for the SM means samanium diiodide, mediated strategy for the key cyclization to form the central region of the molecule, which is ring C, that we will see later on. But here in the abstract, the former approach was abandoned in favor of the latter when more functionalization substrate failed to enter the cyclization process. The successful devised conversion strategy based on the SMI2 mediated ring closure utilize vinyl iodide minus 26 is nothing but as a structure number that while synthesizing or while that time we will see the what kind of the structure it has. Here just introduction. Aldehyde fragment plus minus 86 is also as a number of. In a different scheme we will see that, because there are the number of schemes as a key building blocks whose lithium mediated coupling led to isomeric coupling products plus 87 and minus 88 as shown in scheme number 17 in the article. Whenever we are proceed, we will going to approach those scheme in detail. Intermediate minus 88 was converted via minus 89 and minus 90 oblique plus 91 to Vanusel B structure 2 as shown in a scheme 18, that also we are going to see in our next segment. And in the article whose spectroscopic data did not match those reported for the natural products, and that also we will how that natural data reported data did not match with the synthesis which they have described in this article, but later on they published the another article in that data, spectral data is match agreement with the natural Vanusels perfectly. And similarly, intermediate plus 25, that again 25 means just I am only numbering I am telling over here. obtained through coupling of vinyl iodide minus 26 and aldehyde plus minus 27 as shown in scheme 13 in the article. Later we are going to discuss, or in future, was a transform via intermediate minus 97 and plus 98 as shown in scheme 19 in the article to diastereomeric Van-Ussel B structures plus minus D2 plus D2 as shown in scheme 19 in the article, that also we will see in future lectures, and which was also proven spectroscopically to be non-identical to the naturally occurring substance. And these investigations led to the discovery and development of a number of new synthetic technologies that set the stage for the solution of the Van-Ussel structural conundrum, means very difficult problems for us. So, now let us see some introduction regarding this Van-Ussel A and B. In 1999, Guelladini and Pictra disclosed the structure of Van-Ussels A1 and B2, which is just now represented in figure 1. Two secondary metabolite, as we know that this is a biological word, means small molecules isolated from strains of the interstitial marine ciliate Euloplots Vanus SI 121 and BUN 3. These are that name biological symbols are used over here. Somewhat reminiscent of steroidal structure, but more complex, these striking molecular architecture include 6 rings and 13 stereo centers. 3 of the latter are all carbon quaternary centers. And as we know that there are 6 rings are present, number of rings, yesterday we find out there are 6 number of rings, out of which one of them is a 6-membered ring which containing as a carbon-carbon double bond, also having a aldehyde group, and rest of the rings are 5-membered ring are 5, and there are this compound also is optically active because it has a chiral center, and there are 13 chiral centers are present, and therefore that molecule is a optically active in nature. And as we know that optical activity, it is one of the important physical property of organic compound. The instrument used to determine optical activity is a polarimeter. Now, somewhat reminiscent of steroidal structure, but more complex, these striking molecular architecture include 6 rings and 13 stereo centers. 3 of the latter are all carbon quaternary centers. So, that we will see. Their structures were assigned on the basis of mass spectrometric. It is a mass spectrometry, it is one of the technique, and from that we know the exact molecular weight of that organic compounds, and that work fragmentations are obtained. Then there is a prominent peaks and that from that prominent peak are some of the base peak, and from the chemists are recognizing what are the prominent peak, which is the base peak, and from that they can able to know the structure, what could be the structure of that unknown compound. So, that type of the information is obtained from that spectroscopic. NMR spectroscopic, NMR, and as we know that nuclear magnetic resonance. H1 NMR and the carbon 13 NMR. From H1 NMR we are getting information about the stereochemistry of that protons, number of protons in the organic compound, how could they are oriented from their coupling constant and everything. We will get the correct information about that structure, how they are oriented in the molecule, and organic chemists by assigning their signals where from their chemical shift what kind of the protons are present, they are easily finding that. Then carbon 13 NMR, number of signals produced by or obtained in the spectrum from the value, chemical shift value. Once again it is a bigger, the range starting from 0 to 220 ppm, or we can say delta parts per million, but the H1 NMR range is a smaller as compared to that, only 0 to 16 ppm, that is a chemical shift range. Within that range there are certain fixed values, like as aromatic compound they are generally fallen in the range, or they appear in the range 6.5 to 8.5. Within that range, if the protons are appear, the organic chemists come to know that there is a possibility of presence of the aromatic ring. Some other factors also there, but suppose as the values are very de-shielded, like as a 15 or 16 ppm, then that value may be due to the enolic OH, that type of the things are there. Or suppose as the values are very close to, suppose as a 0.9, 0.8 somewhere, that value may be for saturated protons. So, that type of the we are getting from that spectroscopy. And limited chemical transformation studies, the Van Hussel's process, a carbon 13 molecular fragment, a reaction that prompted the isolation chemists to propose a biosynthetic hypothesis. Biosynthetic hypothesis that postulated squalene 3 as their squalene, one of the natural product, or what we can call it as a building block used for the making of the many natural products, as they can use as a what we can call it as a special isoprene rule, like that. And later a biosynthetic hypothesis that postulated squalene 3 as their precursor, but very little information beyond that scheme 1A. Guella and co-worker later proposed a second biosynthetic hypothesis that relied on the isolation of the E. Vanus strain TB6 possessing half of the carbon framework of the Van Hussels and approximately named hemi-Van Hussel for scheme 1b, which we are going to discuss or going to see shortly. And these investigators suggested a dimerization of this monomeric unit, double aldol reaction, as the key step, followed by an intramolecular aldol dehydration process and several more transformation for the Vanusol's biosynthesis 4 to 5 to 6 to Vanusol A and B, see in a scheme number 1b. Integrated by the Vanusol structures, we began to contemplate their total synthesis being cognizant of the difficulties ahead given the unprecedented synthetic challenge posed by these molecules. And what we were not expecting, however, were the many twists and turns that this project had in store for us, and the new challenges that it would bring on the way. And it was not until 2009, 10 years after the report of their isolation, that the Vanusol would yield to our advances that led not only to their total synthesis, but also to their structural revisions. And in this and the following article, we detail the investigation that culminated in the total synthesis of Vanusols A and B, the demystification of what become a central puzzle, their true molecular structures. So, let us see the scheme number 1, how they are representing over here. So, let us see that one by one, so that we can see over here. That is a scheme 1, biosynthetic hypothesis. This is scheme 1, biosynthetic hypothesis for Vanusols A and B, for Vanusols A and B. That is the point we are discussing. Now, let us see over here. A, there are this type of the, let me draw here the double bond CH2. Let me draw here, starting from here, so that we can get A double bond 1 CH2 CH2, then here is a double bond here CH2 CH2, here is again once more double bond here, then CH2, here is a double bond, can put over here CH2, this, here is a double bond 1 2 3. So, still let me, that is a bond which are not properly done here. Let me start from here, from beginning. A double bond CH2 CH2, then there will be a double bond double bond, this CH2, CH2, double bond, one methyl group over here, this double bond, one methyl group here, double bond, methyl group here, like this. In between there is a CH2, 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 CH2. If you count number of carbon atom, then you will find there will be a, this is the structure of 3 squalene. Squalene. This is the structure of squalene in a natural product. In a first year you might have learned that one. That is a 3 squalene C13 framework. That is C13 framework. C13 framework. If you count from, if you start beginning from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29 and 20, 30, and therefore, it is given as a C13 framework, and this is a structure of squalene, which is a structure number 3. First structure number first, 1 R is equal to AC, Vanusul A, 2 structure number 2, R is equal to hydrogen, that Vanusul B, and now squalene, it is a structure number 3, because you have to remember these numbers and what type of the structures they are, because that Vanusul A and Vanusul B are the structure number 1 and 2, that are the target molecule, and as we know that target molecule whose synthesis being planned is called as a target molecule. So, that is there, and after this squalene, what do you get over here? I am showing these arrows, means number of steps over there, and then how they are joined by in a acidic medium H plus are there, then how the rings are formed, because nature are very selective, very specific. There is no side product formation. There is no possibility of formation of the side product. They selectively produce only highly specific chemical compounds, no hazardous. So, that is the speciality of that natural product, and after doing that in number of steps, what do you get? You are going to get structures here. I am going to represent over here this structure. There are 5 membered ring, this one I am showing over here, then another 5 membered ring, then I am showing this is a 6 membered ring which containing as a double bond, then there will be a another 5 membered ring, and this ring further attached with this, and there will be this 5 membered ring which I am showing over here representing this one, and then there will be a this hydroxy group and one of the hydroxy group which is attached over here. Now, here one of the group which is OR you can say over here, then come to this side. So, there will be the, here is a double bond, this one, then as we know that here should be acetyl group. The hydrogen atom at this junction should be above the plane, at this junction it should be below the plane, at this junction that hydrogen atom should be below the plane, and here one hydroxy group which is above the plane and one aldehyde group present over here, it is below the plane. So, this is the structure of Van Hussel's A and B. Suppose here number 1, as we know that if R is equal to AC, then we can call it as a Van Hussel A. If second one R is equal to hydrogen atom, then you get Van Hussel B. That is the speciality of C13 framework excluding acetate. This is a C13 framework. C13 framework excluding means not included, excluding acetate. Now, how do you give the number? How they have given number to this ring? They have given the number starting from this side. 1 here 1, 2, 3, then 4 here. 4, 5, 6, 7, and after 7, 8, 9, then 10, 11, 12, 13. After 13, then 14, 15, 16, 17, then 18, 9, 18, then 19, 20, 21, after 21, 22, then 23, 24, this will be 25, then 26, this will be 27, 28, this will be 29, and this is a 30. So, that is the numbering system given to that. I think this is the A part we have seen over here. The rest of the remaining thing we will see in the next lecture. Thank you. Have a nice day.